Sonic, the heart of your system.
I'm Neil Walder for Kit Guru, here with Ian Parry, aka 8-Pack. Say hello.
Hi viewers.
And with the Orion X2, the world's most expensive pre-built PC, which can be used for gaming, among other things. My simple question to Ian is, what's new?
Right guys, I'm here with Leo at Kit Guru to basically walk you through the differences between the Orion X2, which is pretty much brand new to our website within the last couple of weeks, and the previous Orion X. What we believe is obviously that this is an absolute evolution of the first Orion X, which was really a revelation in the gaming and high-end performance PC market when we brought it to Computex almost 2.5 years ago now. The last video that we did on the first Orion X was I did a quick interview which went viral through the Kit Guru network and now has close to 1 million views, I believe. So the first product that we had, obviously we wanted to spec with absolutely the best water cooling, the best look and the best performance. But as with all these products, we look at performance first and then we spec everything to make sure that that performance can be cooled and taken care of within the package. So the case for the system has remained the same. The Phanteks Elite, which we believe is the best case for the specific system. It's available to us with many different already placed customizations, which we can take that notch further by, because of the space of it, adding a crazy amount of water cooling. The PSU in the system is one designed by myself in conjunction with Superflower and is again 2000 watts. And obviously it was designed by myself for this kind of system. What has changed basically is everything hardware side. This time we've got a X299 platform. Previously we had X99 platform. Our choice has been Intel because Intel is currently the fastest CPU for gaming and for anything with AVX 512 instruction set and everything where you need up to 18 cores. I mean, obviously Intel's now actually brought 28 cores to the table, but that CPU is certainly not suitable for gaming. And Orion X2 is about mainly gaming and multimedia, but also some professional uses. The 28 core CPU would be a professional use with the odd game. Here in the main system, we've got X299 this time, 7980 XE CPU, which has 18 cores, 36 threads, and they're overclocked to 4.6 for non-AVX workloads. The first system was using 64 gig of memory, clocked at 2666 megahertz speed. Now we're using 128 gigabytes of memory with the speed of 3200 C14. The C14 is a tighter cast timing to get us higher performance, as well of course as the double amount of capacity and another over 600 megahertz memory speed on the sticks. With this CPU you can also push the cache higher, again gaining more efficiency. Now of course Orion X is not just about the one platform, it's about two platforms. We've got an 8-core CPU and a 9900K. The end user using the bottom system who doesn't want to do as much rendering, who's not that bothered about hyperthreading on the CPU, we can push the overclocks further. But again it'll be an 8-core CPU. In the bottom system here we've got like 4000 megahertz, 16 gig of memory. So that's crazy fast, giving you a lot of access to the bandwidth available. And again on the bottom system we're also pushing the cache really high. In terms of the graphics cards, the top system in the previous incarnation of Orion X had the basic 1080 for a start, and then was upgraded to 1080 Ti over time. Now what we have here actually is RTX 2080 Ti in 3 card configuration in the top system. The RTX Titan is now the card of choice for this system, but if you want you can downgrade to the 2080 Ti. So if 200 frames per second is not fast enough, you can go for 210. Now a lot of customers ask me this, or viewers to these type of videos, why have you got 3 cards in the top system? Well obviously these kind of systems are not just appropriate for the gamer. They're often used by the professional, so the top system can actually be can actually be 2 cards if you wish, if you're just gaming, to a SLI, or you can even choose the 4 card configuration on an Asus Sage board, which is giving you 16 16 by 16 by 16 by 16 to 4 cards to give you full bandwidth, again to help the professional whose software is CUDA enabled. The bottom system, obviously, because of room limitations, is always going to be 1 card, and you can choose a 2080 Ti, as we've got in this case, or you can upgrade to the RTX Titan. And obviously with these systems, not only is CPU memory overclocked in both systems, the GPUs are also overclocked, and the GPUs are specially selected so that when they're boosting, that the boost clocks on each card are pretty much exactly the same, so that when you overclock them in SLI or multi-card configurations, then you always get the cards boosting to the same, and there's no problem with stutter, and there's also no problem with, if you like, power limits within the system. Now I know Leo asked me earlier about the memory sticks and what's interesting about those. Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm working in conjunction with Team Group to produce a range of 8-pack memory. Now the memory sticks that we use in all 8-pack builds actually are specifically binned Samsung B die, which are binned to a specification laid down by us at Overclockers UK, and then mounted to a 10-layer PCB to make sure that we've got the absolute maximum quality of signal in our transfer to the Samsung B die to give the best latency and the best stability. And then of course they've got the branded heat sinks here, which are a very robust design and are actually helping to dissipate heat off the sticks. So if you're hammering them with MEMTest for a long period of time, you'll feel the sticks do get warm, and that the heat sinks are doing a really great job. Also within the system, we've got very fast NVMe storage on both systems. We've got like 4 terabytes of NVMe storage on both systems, and then we've also got 14 terabytes of HDD storage on both systems. So that gives us a total of 36 terabytes of storage for the entire PC. And I guess many people ask me, why do you need 2 systems in one chassis? Well, I mean, there's obviously many uses for this, but most people are using like the small system for like home automation, CCTV cameras, taking care of their music server, all this kind of thing, or some people are using it as a gaming server and then playing on the main system. But there's actually endless really tasks that you can get both of these systems to do, because both of them are capable of gaming. How do we make the system look so great, and obviously how do we keep the components so cool and stable while we're running at these crazy overclocks? Well, basically we've got the reservoir here with the 8 cut into it. Now customers actually, providing it's possible, can change this 8 logo here. God knows why they'd ever want to change my logo, but anyway, they can change this logo here to something that they wish and have the fluid cascading through there. And what we've got here is a 3-loop cooling configuration. The red liquid here has been pumped through this D5 here, through the striking distribution plates, which of course look great, but they also do have a function. They're sending the red liquid here to the 8-core 16-thread 9900K here in the bottom system, and then they're using this triple radiator here to cool that CPU and keep it nice and stable while overclocked to over 5 GHz. We've got the black loop here, which is being fed by this side of the 8, again through the EKD5 pump. And that's again been fed through the pass-through plate here, up the pass-through plate on the I/O plate here to cool the graphics cards. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards being cooled here. Now obviously the cards are by far generating the most heat in this entire system, especially when you're overclocking them. You need to keep them nice and cool as well. We're using EK full cover blocks, which is cooling the VRAM, the memory and the GPU itself. And we're taking care of removing the heat from the fluid using a triple radiator here in the front of the system and a quad radiator here in the bottom system. Obviously you'll notice here the quad radiator is a thick one, which allows us to remove more heat capacity. And obviously we want this extra specified cooling so we can keep the fans running very slow so it's not obtrusive. So the idea is to well over specify the cooling, so as we've got that stability, we've got the look, and we've got the quiet operation. Finally, we've got the silver loop here, which you'll see to the left hand side of the 8. Again, been ferried through these very, very nice looking cooling plates that we design and make in-house at Overclockers UK. all the way up here to the 18-core CPU, and then around the CPU into this radiator here, which is again a thick radiator manufactured by EK, which has the fans here mounted in the top, again running nice and slow and removing the heat out through the top of the system. The customer can actually customize even further, you know, not just the water cooling but every element of the system, if you like. So they can change the colour of the braided cables, of course. They can change the colour of anything to do with the water cooling. They can have different etching here, or different actually cut into their radiator, their own logo, cut into their own here in their own logo. They can have the case painted. They can have any part of the, like the graphics cards, for example, some type of screen print on there. They can have some type of screen print on the glass if they want any type of etching. Everything with Orion X is customizable, and of course we can provide benchmarks as well of the different configurations to the customer and go through those benchmarks so that they can make an informed purchasing decision. Orion X is the pinnacle of our gaming systems stroke professional systems. We have a full range of gaming PCs available on our website, which many of the research and development tools that have gone into Orion X filter down. So at the very high end, obviously, we've got the 8-pack systems, which start at the Asteroid and go all the way up to here, Orion X. And then we have the Inspired by 8-pack range, which is the Infinite range. And they take a lot of what's available here in the 8-pack range, just tone it down slightly. The CPUs are not quite as fast, but still way above stock overclocks. The GPUs, again, are not overclocked, but there's 1 and 2 GPUs available, no problem. And then obviously we have our standard gaming machines, which are customizable on our website, or you can pick out one of our favourites on there. And they have come from the same development team, essentially, that are developing these kind of builds, if you like, the real showcase stuff. And we're very focused on our business customers, helping them with this kind of stuff, you know, a company designing, for example, a Formula 1 car or something like this, and they want to do the aerodynamics on it, or the FEA. We're helping them to prescribe the correct stack of hardware in the system, or indeed server. What Orion X you see here with absolutely all the bling can filter down into other gaming systems that we offer at great price points, and also into workstations and servers, where we work closely with companies to select the best CPUs, the best memory, the best VGA combinations within their specific budget to get their work throughput done faster, more efficiently, and also obviously quieter, cooler, and more reliable than the rest.
So to wrap up, I'm Leo Ward for Kit Guru. This is 8-pack. This is the Orion X2. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you give it a thumbs down, frankly, what's wrong with you? That's all I'm going to say. Just that. Hit the subscribe button. We'll let you know about new videos as they become available.